The market gaps down, holds support, and rockets higher. Are we ready for the bull breakout? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we were looking at two main potentials, the possibility that we needed one more high to complete wave one, or the fact that we were in that ABC down and we saw the latter. The market gapped down into our support area that we've been highlighting for a while, and then held support and rocketed higher and is ready to break out. Now the question is, can the bulls follow through? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, before we jump into the chart, as always, we are doing incredibly well in the room. On our video on 10/12/22, you can go back and check it out. We called this entire move off of the low, and we've been killing it all the way up. And that's what we do in our room, is change people's lives and teach them how to trade properly. So if you'd like to know more about that, please stay tuned for later in the video. For now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1 hour futures chart for the S&P 500, and as we've been talking about for a while now, we've had the wave 1, 2 set up, and we got our 5 waves up here for wave 1 of 3, and then we were a little unsure if we needed one more high or we were going to get this ABC yesterday, and we ended up getting the ABC. We hit our support level that we highlighted in yesterday's video, and the market held and rocketed higher back up toward the high of this wave B, and this is poised to break out over the pivot for our wave 3 of 3 breakout higher. So what we would look for over the next couple of days is a continuation of this move up into the pivot area, which is the 4054 to 4090 area. You'd look for a little bit of consolidation in here as it tries to break through the pivot. And then once it breaks out, we'd look for a move to the 4207 area to complete wave 3 of 3, okay? And then we'd look for the wave 4 pullback back toward the 4090 area. So ultimately, we'd look for that move up to 4207 and then a pullback from there, and then we can cross the bridges when we get there. Now, when we hit 4207, we don't have to pull back. Wave 3s can extend and they can push higher, so we don't want to be shorting wave 3s, especially once they break out over the pivot, until we get some confirmation of the pullback. So that is our primary path. We're looking for continuation up into the pivot. Again, that's 4054 to 4090, some consolidation, and then a move higher up to 4207, which would be the 1236. And we would look for 4149 as a minimum. The 1.0 extension is the minimum target for 3 of 3, but more commonly we do hit the 1236 at 4207. Now the alternate count to that is that we are not done with this ABC, and off of the high, this would be ABC as we have it labeled, but this would just be the A wave. We got a big B wave, and then we'd get a C wave down toward the 3940 area. I don't think this is a very likely count. This move up does not look like any kind of B wave. It looks very strong, like a wave 3 should. It was on good volume. We have a reversal hammer candle on the daily chart, so very unlikely that this is a B wave, but we got to keep it in the back of our mind just in case we start to break down. We got to understand what we're looking for. So ultimately, we'd look for one more push down into support around the 3940, 3930 area, and then a rally up from there in 3 of 3 toward that 4200 area. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, again, very similar counts. We got the 1, 2 of the main count, and now we're counting our wave 3. And we were a little skeptical of this being another high wave 1. So I had the 1 over here yesterday for the after hours move, but as soon as they sunk it down, it became evident it was an expanded B wave. So we got our wave 1 up, and then you got your A, B, C down into support, which held perfectly. We rocketed back higher up toward the top of this wave 1 area, and now we are just under the pivot on the NASDAQ, the 11,935 to the 1283 area. And what we would look for is, again, some consolidation in the pivot as we grind through it, and then a breakout higher that would target the 12,500 area on the NASDAQ. So sorry about the arrow there. That would go up to the 12,500 area. Then we'd look for a pullback from there. Again, wave 3s can extend, so there's no guarantees we get a pullback from this area. It's just the most common target for a wave 3 of bigger wave 3. So that is our next expectation, is that we would get this continuation, grind in the pivot, and move higher as well in the NASDAQ. The bearish count is going to be very similar to the ES futures, or the S&P futures, where we got this A, B, C for A. This is a B wave, and then we look for that C wave down into our support area around the 11,500 area to hold support, and then look for that rally higher in wave 3 of 3. Okay, so very similar counts on both charts. The primary path on both charts is a direct breakout through the pivot with some consolidation in the pivot and then a breakout up toward the 4,200 level on ES or the S&P 500 and 12.5 on the 12,561 on the NASDAQ. Guys, if you love the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and it will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans and they both come with a 7-day free trial. That's because I want you to get in there and become part of our trading team and make sure you love it before you ever spend a penny. Okay, we just added an educational series. We started with our Elliott Wave for Beginners course. You can see it here. Great reviews on it, teaching you to do what I do and how to measure the market and understand where it's going to move based on Elliott Wave Theory. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, my midday video where I tell you exactly where we're at in the count and what to expect, and our educational series that I just highlighted. You trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are looking for day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and get you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures the trade that's so unique. Something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures, averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can make some money together. All right, key takeaways for today, guys. Our primary path, we're looking for the bulls to go ahead and start to extend into this pivot. We could get a small pullback before that happens, but not anything big that would take out the low. Could get a small pullback, but ultimately looking for them to extend into this pivot, break through the pivot, and head toward the 4,200 area. Over on the NASDAQ, we're looking for the same type of deal where the market moves up into the pivot, gives us some consolidation, breaks through the pivot, and heads toward the 12,561 area. There's a possibility we get a deeper ABC on both, but I don't like those counts for the reason I highlighted earlier. Guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.